record filming. The police.
Back up.
Why are you standing in front of the camera?
Sir,
You gotta go.
Go back on that sidewalk, the frozen zone. Go back over there and film over there.
They haven't told me why am I being arrested.
this is my mom's name, Emily. This was actually my first tattoo. I remember I was told I wouldn't be able to get tattoos unless it was my mom's name. So I went behind my mom's back for Mother's Day and got her name tattooed, and since then I've just been addicted to it. Eyes of a dead man, a part of my life where I felt like I didn't have no soul, I didn't have no heart, and everything was cold around me. This is actually a victim to police brutality and stuff. This signified how cops were killing us.
Ex-gang member Ramsey Orta faces years in jail. It all started when he shot a video of his friend Eric Garner being stopped by undercover officers on suspicion of selling untaxed cigarettes.
Play a hard way for what? Every time you see me, you want to mess with me. I'm tired of it. This time today.
This guy right here is forcibly
what you grabbing me for?
trying to lock somebody up. That day changed my life. Like, I wish it didn't have to happen this way.
No, don't touch me, please. Girl came over. Do not touch me.
Damn.
Put your hand behind your back. I can't breathe. 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 I can't breathe.
Officer had his knee on Eric's neck like this, and basically holding him down, trying to restrain him while other officers was twisting his arm.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Everybody back up, back up.
Watching it now is like, it hurts. I get goosebumps because I feel like I could have done a lot more than just stand there and videotape. You can't breathe. They don't even try to take the cuffs off of him and give him CPR. They don't even try to put an oxygen mask over his face. I mean, they just left him there, laying on his side with his eyes rolled back and his mouth open. And I'm like, I killed him. I was here watching the whole shit.
You watch everything. You know everything.
I couldn't believe it at first, and then I went home and took a shower, and it hit me like, damn, they just killed my friend.
Two days after a New York City grand jury cleared a white police officer in the chokehold death of an unarmed black man, the protests are growing larger and spreading across
Ramsey's video triggered demonstrations across America.
Hundreds shut down major highways in multiple cities.
For many, including the city's medical advisor, this was a homicide caught on camera. Summer 2016. Ramsey's video has still not led to any arrests, but it has inspired a network of people who use technology to watch the police. They're taking on the largest force in America, the NYPD. Brooklyn, New York City. Dennis Flores is a government employee by day. By night, he runs a team that intercepts police radio to film arrests as they happen.
342 10th Street. Can you check if that's between 3rd and 4th Avenue? Let's move it. We want to deter police abuse. So if our cameras are out there, it's going to help prevent it because they know there's extra eyes on them. These cameras are bad cop repellent.
While it's legal to film the police, Dennis has been arrested dozens of times, sometimes aggressively.
So these cops came, grabbed me, handcuffed me, and then body slammed me here, like about 5 or 6 cops. Slammed me to the floor. This one police officer grabbed his walkie-talkie and cracked my head open as all these other cops came and kicked me, punched me, and they dragged me out of here and charged me with assaulting the police.
Now, Dennis never films alone. He and his team have filmed multiple cases of what New York's zero-tolerance policing means in practice.
So this is where Ray Tillery was standing when he flicked the cigarette onto the street. The police surround him, swarmed him around this entrance. As we see in the video, right in here in front of this dollar pizzeria shop, he gets arrested. Over 10 police officers aggressively take him down for flicking a cigarette in the street. Something that thousands of New Yorkers do every day.
You can't throw a cigarette butt down? Come on, man.
For every 10 people stopped by the NYPD, 8 are black or Hispanic.
Literally, like, the police have a license to hurt, arrest, and kill people and get away with it. Nothing happens to them.
Even those who intervene run the risk of arrest.
Sebastian Lemos, he was right here, and the police were arresting him. And as they approached, the mother, she started telling the cops what you're doing to her son is wrong. She's 6 months pregnant. She has a belly out to here. You see them struggling with her, and he slams her to the floor. He puts his knees on her back. Another woman approaches. The cop tosses her, flips her over, and she hits the ground and fractures her kneecap. These are crimes being committed by police officers. That's why cop watching is effective, because here we are keeping a track of all the corrupt cops. We're making it public to make sure that people know what's going on, and this doesn't just get swept under the rug.
Police officer shot in the shoulder. Apparently got an investigation with 3 individuals. 2 of them have been apprehended. The officer got shot in the shoulder, and 1 individual is still at large.
Anthony Miranda has spent his life in the NYPD.
They're doing the infrared and heat to try to locate people probably in the backyards.
A senior detective, he's investigated homicides, organized crime, and police corruption.
They shot 1 cop, they wouldn't hesitate to shoot another.
It's highly unusual for a police officer to speak out against his own. But after 20 years of service, Miranda can no longer keep quiet about the behavior of the police.
The enforcement against African Americans and Hispanics is 10 times more than it is against any other community out there. When cops become abusive is when they start believing that the mentality is us against them, and that starts from day 1 in the police academy. Any police indoctrination, it trains officers to disassociate with the communities they grew up in, not to identify with the people, sometimes not even to identify with their own family members. They have no screening process whatsoever for racism. They don't do it. Imagine that the police department can hire somebody who has a tattoo on his arm of a hanging, of a black person hanging, and they still qualify to be a New York City police officer.
Have you seen that?
Yes. White people don't get arrested as much. The criminal justice system doesn't prosecute them as much, doesn't charge them the same way that they charge African Americans and Hispanics. There's a total imbalance in the process that nobody wants to pay attention to.
Miranda is aware that by making allegations of systemic racism, he's pitting himself against the NYPD.
People say, well, these guys are in uniform and they're talking about discrimination. These guys are in uniform and they're talking about the abuses that are going on in our community. These were things that were unheard of. Like, you would never do that. It's like you're taking your life in your own hands. The police department is the biggest gang in New York. You know, you mess with the police department and the retaliation is direct and absolute.
The NYPD has 36,000 officers and a budget of $5 billion. It can control every corner of New York. In multi-ethnic areas, like the Bronx, the department operates a fleet of mobile observation towers. These are deployed 24/7 in poor areas.
Whole place is lit up. It's like it is a war zone. It's an occupying force.
Crime rates have fallen to record lows. But Jose LaSalle, who runs the local Copwatch team, believes this is because the entire community is under siege.
I'm just filming the lights all around. Kind of give people an idea of how police has actually took over these projects in the Bronx. I mean, it's no problem having police, you know, around. My problem is when they just don't follow the proper procedures and protocols and take this to a point where they just become more of a harassment.
Suddenly, Jose intercepts a police request for backup on a possible domestic violence incident and disappears down the road. Jose films as two officers lead a vocal but handcuffed man to their vehicle.
He's walking on his own to the car.
By the time he reaches the police station, multiple officers are carrying him in. Jose's team seek legal advice. They're concerned about the way events are unfolding.
We got over here in time to catch him being pulled out of the van like a frickin' sack of potatoes, completely inert. What the police officer said that he hit his wife, so we can do whatever the fuck we want with him. And then 10 minutes later, ambulance is called and they brought in a stretcher, so we're waiting to see what the story is. I'm hoping that he's alive.
We have some video here of him being pulled into the precinct.
Wow.
We don't know what happened to this man, but the cop watchers have their suspicions.
So somewhere along inside that van, this black male got either knocked out, beat up by police to the point where he was unconscious. They saying that they have the right to be the judge, jury, and executioner, you know what I'm saying, because he hit a woman.
Because obviously domestic violence is serious.
And that's why there's a court system. I mean, why there's a process. When you get locked up, you go to court, you see the judge, and their only job is to arrest people.
Just as the team fears the worst, there's an unexpected development.
Oh, they bringing him out. They taking him to the hospital.
Excuse me, sir, are you okay?
Excuse me.
That man's okay.
Hold on.
Are you okay, sir?
Stay here.
Sir, are you okay? Sir, are you okay?
Back up, sir. Back up. Back up.
Okay?
Back
Why do I have to back up?
Because we need ample space over here, okay?
Space. Why are you standing in front of my camera?
Back up.
Why are you standing in front of the camera?
Sir.
Sir, you gotta go.
Preventing.
Are you
on the street, sir? All right?
I want to know that
You're
man's
gonna get hit by a car.
He's not complaining. He has to go to Lincoln. That's it. okay?
The police seem to have changed their story. They're no longer mentioning domestic violence.
Now they're saying that the guy in there is emotionally disturbed, which is another way to cover why they have to be so aggressive with him.
The police refused to give out the man's name, so the cop watchers were unable to find out what happened to him.
What is this?
Cop watcher Kim Hortense thinks it's only a matter of time before her sons are stopped by the police.
You know that if a police officer stops you, you need to be very, very careful, right?
Yeah.
You need to not put your hands to your side, right? And you just ask them, am I free to go?
Or
am I being detained?
Detained, all right.
Say it. So, am I free to go?
Am I free to go, or I'm being detained?
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing here? Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
That's not what you're gonna say.
No.
And if they say you're being detained?
I just need to wait there for a minute.
You need to wait there, and then when you get a chance to call mommy, you call mommy.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
My 9-year-old's on the autism spectrum. Aiden is very respectful, Aiden is very peaceful, but he won't understand, you know, their aggressive jump out the car tactics with guns in faces. He will not understand that. His mind is not equipped to understand that in that way. And police aren't equipped to deal with people in that way. So I'm terrified, especially for Aiden because of that. And so I fight, and, you know, hopefully I fight enough that they don't have to march, that they don't have to go through all of this. Hopefully something changes, but, you know, the climate, it's just heartbreaking.
Despite working full-time and raising her sons as a single parent, Kim cop watches every single week to make sure people know their rights.
Do you consent to that search, sir?
And to gather evidence when the police step out of line.
Get you this video. You do not have to consent to a search. Say, I do not consent to this search.
Don't consent to the search.
I got this on film. He does not consent to a search. So guess what's gonna happen when you get to court? This video, bye-bye. So I know I come across as very aggressive and very militant, and I am, and I'm unapologetic about it because, like, day to day, I see police harass people, and, you know, it's every day. Like, I can't go one day without seeing someone's rights violated by police officers, and when you try to call them out on it, it's like, who are you to talk to me about what I'm doing? Like, obey me. So yeah, I'm angry. Yeah, I'm aggressive. Yes, I'm militant, because I've been dealing with this shit for a long time now.
Makes sense.
I'm taking one step back. I'm a reasonable distance. You keep your hands away from me. I'm not the one. Yeah, I'm not the one.
Yo, what's the issue?
I work for Copwatch.
Ramsey Orta, the man who filmed the death of Eric Garner, has been filming the police ever since.
Answer my phone. Be on your back. I told you to stay on the sidewalk. I told you to stay on the sidewalk.
But when he is arrested filming a traffic stop, his wife Bella takes over.
We are on Baruch and Houston. Ramsey has just been arrested for standing off of the sidewalk while filming. The police arrest someone else. Jesus fucking Christ.
With Ramsey behind bars, his wife Bella alerts other cop watchers.
Fuck this world, man. Yeah, the charges are obstruction of a government agent and disorderly conduct. Right? I'm like, that's fucking bullshit.
I mean, it's been a crazy week, you know? To hear that he got arrested for filming cops once again, you know. My understanding, he was charged with jaywalking.
It's for him? I don't know.
You want your other shoelace?
Doing my job?
After 5 hours in custody and convinced he's done nothing wrong, Ramsey is released.
Before I approach any situation, I'm like, yo, my name is Ramsey Orta. I work with Copwatch. I got video footage of everything that went on. Don't try to falsify reports.
I want to be straight up, man. I think you crazy still filming the police.
For Ramsey, the battle with the NYPD is personal. He doesn't want the death of his friend Eric Garner to count for nothing.
I'm not gonna say they won by taking my friend, but they won in the sense to show that they don't give a fuck. But now it's my turn. My main goal is to put pressure on cops. Once they see a camera in somebody's hand or a phone in somebody's hand, like they quick to think twice, like, oh shit, I can't do what I wanted to do.
For Ramsey, the stakes couldn't be higher. He has a criminal past, and since his video exposing the NYPD went viral, he has been arrested in multiple undercover sting operations.
Altogether, I have 5 bail bonds. Empire is covering the gun charge, because that was the first case that I caught behind the video. And allegations I was selling drugs to an undercover.
His family is helping pay his bail, and each week he has to check in at this bail bond office.
The names that are pulling back on let's just say 2 cases, if my grandmother's on 3, can she sign for that other 2? Okay.
Yeah.
Ramsey's lawyers, Ken Perry and Will Aronin, believe these latest arrests are bogus, designed to discredit Ramsey.
He doesn't have a clean record, but that has nothing to do with these cases.
It does feel that they had it in for someone. And I do think that had he not filmed this video, we would not be in this situation defending him on 6 or 7 different cases.
It was more like, okay, this guy is getting fucked completely.
Lawyers Aronin and Perry specialize in cases of alleged police abuse.
So, tell me what happened.
Increasingly, they are using Copwatch material in their court battles with the NYPD.
Keep on going. They're arguing that because of this one...
Today, they are meeting Christian Conyers.
...needed some sort of surgery. It's amazing how lucky it is that this was all on video.
As you can see on the tape, I didn't commit any crime.
Why don't you call your deputy inspector to ask about me before you even start...
This is me, right here.
He is facing charges of resisting arrest after cycling into a demo. But footage shot by Copwatchers could be key to his defense.
Of course, I looked, to see what was going on, because this is where I live at. I have every right to be here. That's when he grabbed me. I had to stand up. If I didn't stand up, I would have fell off the bike. While this is going on, all this is a kick in my legs.
They're trying to push you down.
They're pushing me down on the floor.
Let's do a stop for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
You can
7.
see me under here.
And there you are there.
You have 7 guys, as we counted, maybe more, on top of you now. Literally, it's a dog pile. What are you saying at that point?
At that point, I'm trying to tell him, gasping for air, telling him I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm against the ground with 3 or 4 different officers on my back. How am I supposed to breathe? I regret I didn't get a chance to tell that story. I wound up spending the night in the hospital, just madness, man.
Christian will be in court in a few days, and it's taking its toll on his family.
My son doesn't even look at the police the same way. He shouldn't live in a place in which he fears the people that are supposed to serve and protect him.
gonna go to court?
Yeah, me and Mommy gotta go to court. Just in case anything happens, Mommy's gonna come with me. Because, I mean, I don't think anything is gonna happen, but in the event that it does, it'd be better for Mommy to know. Because the courts are not gonna call and tell Mommy that they remanded me or anything like that.
The gulf between Copwatchers and the NYPD has never been greater.
We're here tonight. We're here tonight because Black Lives Matter.
Each week, they meet to remember a person of colour who's died at the hands of the police.
Every Monday for over a year, we've been highlighting different cases of police brutality, and unfortunately, we're not running out of names.
They're going to shut down the streets. They're going to do some civil disobedience to draw attention to the issue.
Are they going to get arrested?
Most likely, some of them will.
What do we want? Justice! And when do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! And when do we want it? Now! And if we don't get it, shut it down! And if we don't get it, shut it down!
These are some brave people willing to put their lives at the hands of the police. You know? All I can do is watch their backs. As long as, just film me. As much as I'm able to do.
Shut it down! And if we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down!
These two sides now view each other with complete hostility.
But while you are shopping, black people are dying.
Black people are dying.
By the hands of the police.
By the hands of the police.
Put the fist in the air.
Put the fist in the air. All lives matter. Black lives matter. All lives matter. Black lives matter.
No more fascism in our community.
Stigma vote. Hell no.
Rather than target the main demonstration, the police single out one of the Copwatchers they know well.
Go back over there and film over there.
This is the 75th time Dennis has been arrested.
You gotta give my guy a little space.
What's happened, Dennis?
They're arresting me. I have no clue. I have no idea why they're arresting me. They haven't told me why am I being arrested.
Sir, please step back on the sidewalk. You're in the street.
The more we report of y'all abuse, the more people win, the more we win.
3, 6, 7 cops on somebody who was walking in the crosswalk?
It is our duty to fight for our freedom! It is our duty to fight for our freedom! It is our duty to win! It is our duty to win! We must love and support each other! We must love and support each other! We have nothing to lose but our chains! We have nothing to lose but our chains! We have nothing to lose but our chains! We have nothing to lose!
Dennis is driven to the nearest police station for processing. But just 2 hours later, he's released on bail.
This is what they gave me. They locked me up, kept me in there for an hour. And they gave me a ticket for disorderly conduct because they claimed that I was crossing the street when it was a red light. Luckily for me, I videotaped the entire thing. As I crossed the street, I made sure I documented the traffic signal. I don't even jaywalk when I cop watch. And I recorded myself being stopped in the middle of the street when it was still my turn to cross, and I was arrested for doing nothing.
Kim is in court today. 6 months ago, she was also arrested when filming the police.
Are you nervous about today?
No, I'm not nervous. I have video evidence that it was a completely bogus arrest. I'm not nervous at all. If anything, it's just inconvenient that I have to keep taking time out to keep doing this, and I'm not going to fold over a bogus charge just because that's what they want.
But when Kim's case is called, the arresting officer doesn't turn up. and her trial is postponed. She believes it's part of a deliberate strategy to wear Copwatchers down.
The irony, I think, is that had I not shown up, I would have had a warrant for my arrest. But he can come as he pleases or not come at all. I mean, let's be perfectly honest, you know, this is the white supremacist country. The laws, the courts, the police, everything, you know, runs on white supremacy. So you have the cards stacked against you if you're a person of color. You have the cards stacked against you if you're a poor person. You have the cards stacked against you if you're a woman of color.
What about people who say you're exaggerating?
I would ask those people to come and sit down, and I would ask those people to witness what we witness all the time. I would also be insulted because someone that would say that I'm exaggerating is probably someone that lives in the suburbs and has no idea the issues that I'm talking about because it doesn't affect or pertain to them.
Is there a reason behind all these arrests and seemingly heavy-handed police tactics? One serving NYPD officer with 17 years' experience is prepared to speak out.
This was actually my graduation jackets.
Julio Diaz is president of New York's Latino Officers Association.
When was your graduation?
1999.
He is now bringing a class action lawsuit against the NYPD, claiming the existence of secret and illegal arrest quotas.
The police department will retaliate against you if they think you're saying something they don't like. And quotas is something that they don't want people to know about. If you put a system now that tells police officers to go out there and go stop people and here's a number, if you don't come back with that number, you're going to be disciplined. You're going to cause some problems with the police department, with some police officers, because they might not know the balance now. They might go, okay, I got to get this at all costs. Minority communities, Latino and African American communities are being targeted as enforcement strategy by the NYPD. Who are you going to target more? The poor people, the people that are not going to sue you, the people that are not going to fight back, the people that you know are not going to call a politician to come after you. These are the people that are getting targeted.
Welcome. These allegations that the NYPD aggressively pursue arrest targets were recently put to Police Commissioner Bratton.
Bullshit. Bullshit is my response to that. Quite clearly. If any of my cops out there still think we're pushing for the summonses, etc., I'm sorry. We're pushing to reduce crime.
Despite this official denial, Detective Miranda is adamant quotas not only exist, but were a key factor in the arrest of Eric Garner.
They went out here to put his ass in jail for something that he didn't do. To constitute the sale, they had to have seen the exchange of money and the cigarettes. Their own reports after the incident never said that they saw an actual exchange between Eric Garner and anybody else. So if that was the premise on why you stopped him, then your stop was illegal. Your approach to him was illegal. And you should have never approached him to begin with.
I'm minding my business, officer. I'm minding my business. Please just leave me alone.
He said, these guys are targeting me. They're planting evidence on me.
Every time you see me, you want to mess with me. I'm tired of it. It stops today.
According to Miranda, not only were the detectives aiming to hit their quota, they were also punishing Eric for daring to complain about harassment.
Prior to this, he's already made allegations against the team in Staten Island, the same officers, that they had planted evidence on him and are falsely arresting him and accusing him of a crime.
Girl came over and gave us
To establish that they retaliated against him was easy for any federal investigator, anybody with authority and oversight. The city council, all these people who held the hearings, nobody asked the right questions because they didn't want the right answers. We should all be up in arms.
2 years on, and people in the community are still angry. They cannot understand why the police have not been held accountable.
You telling the true story?
He's telling what's so.
Are you sure?
Like it happened to him, it can happen to my sons, you know, my sisters, my brothers, and it's been happening. To find out later, when they came out and said he was not going to be prosecuted, the police officer, I lost it.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
For many New Yorkers, the fact the officers involved in the chokehold death of Eric Garner face no charges, while Ramsey Orta, the man who filmed it all, faces years in jail, shows the imbalance in the system.
Ramsey knows this. We have had this conversation with him very seriously many, many times. This case has to be resolved at some point.
Do I expect that all the police officers will be saying nothing but all the truth? No. I assume police officers are going to be lying on the stand to get done what they want to get done, what they think is in their interest.
If everything went wrong, 118 years maximum. He is theoretically facing 118 years.
For some, Ramsey is a career criminal hiding behind allegations of NYPD brutality. To others, he is a hero.
I exposed literally the modern day lynching. That's what happened. They choked him to death. I don't regret it, but I don't want to be dealing with this shit. I'm about to go give up some time for my life for taking a video. It's gonna be a rough ride, but hopefully I got my head on my shoulders by the time I get in there.
What's the worst it can be now? What's the worst?
Death. It's pretty much, and I mean, you probably be doing me a favor, because I ain't got to go through this bullshit that I'm going through now.
I had a great career. I did. I had a great career.
For Detective Miranda, the criminal justice system is out of control. He's seen the prison population of America increase by 2 million people and maintains each arrest, trial and conviction helps hit a financial target.
People make money from this whole process. This is a money-making system. The summonses generate income, the arrests generate an entire system. When you arrest somebody, everybody's making money. The courts make money, the jails make money, the court officers make money, the correction officers make money. It's a money-generating system that nobody wants to correct the imbalance, because if you make it fair, then there won't be as much income in the system. That's just the reality of it. There's not enough, the city won't make the same amount of money. I think Copwatch should be everybody. I think everybody who owns a camera now, everybody who owns a cell phone, should be a part of Copwatch. Every time you see something going on, you should take the picture.
Despite the Copwatcher's video, Christian Conyers is back in court today. If convicted, he faces a 1-year sentence.
Go in there and do what you gotta do today, man. Go behave and do a good job today, all right? No complaints, man. All right?
Okay.
Let me see. See you later. Huh?
Pick me up from school.
Either me or Mommy should be able to pick you up. You know what? If anything, at the most, Grandpa. But it'll probably be me and mommy, all right? All right. I love you. I'll see you later. Go ahead, man.
This seems a community more divided than united by the police.
This is a view from my son's bedroom. Police sitting right here. They're there every day. Day and night, 24/7. Think about it. They right here. It's almost like an invasion of your privacy. It's supposed to be New York City public housing, you know? But, I mean, come on. They sit right outside your window. You're not free. Who's anyone to say that you're free walking around in New York City or anywhere in America right now? I mean, especially being a black man.